got it on the first shot. Isn't that a switch? A very good morning to everybody. I hope you all had a delightful holiday weekend. The weather here in Connecticut was beautiful for one whole day. Now today it's raining and miserable out. I tell you, Mother Nature is really annoyed with us. So, welcome to D-Scraps, E-Scraps. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm sorry I haven't been live in a while. I've just been super busy, guys. Nothing wrong, just, that time of year I had a lot of yard work to do. It was a quiet holiday weekend here. And my nephew stopped over to visit me, and I did make some food, and I was able to bring a couple of meals to a couple of my neighbors who really can't get out and about like they'd like to, so I thought that was a nice thing to do. Hello, Stephen. Even a nicer thing to do is not destroy your iPhone. Oh my god. Oh, it's going to be one of those, huh? Hang on a minute, guys. I just got to do a quick reset here. No big deal. We got this. Sorry. Fortunately, it's early enough in the video that thousands of people didn't see me embarrass myself on TikTok. Okay. Joining, oh my god. Hi guys, thank you. So, I've got a lot of stuff to sort through today, and I just thought I'd kind of do a scrapathon here. I don't know how many we got here. But I did pick up two really nice old school vintage computers over the weekend. And I thought I'd share those with you guys. Johnny, welcome. Pops, welcome. Sean Harris, welcome. Dave, welcome. Hearst Driver, oh my god. Alright. Now let's hope that doesn't happen again. I've moved the camera to the other side of the table to see if this view might be better for you. And looking like it might be. So I don't know what this computer is. There's nothing really much on the cover plate except for the words power and reset. It's got one of those beigey plastic covers. So it's certainly an old school computer of some type. My tripod does not like my new setup. Alright, let me just bring this over a little bit more for you. See how that works. Thank you, Joshua Hamsteak. How are you? I was thinking of you yesterday. Good morning, Joshua Eden. How are you? Okay, so let's go. Did you guys do anything special? Work in your garden? Work in re-scrap? I was very pleased to see how many of you did take advantage of the e-scrap store. And I'm really very glad I was able to make some of that available to you guys to purchase. I went up today and I talked to them up at the yard about the possibility they have, you want to talk about agony of defeat, so to speak. They had this Gaylord box full to the brim with e-waste. And I got talking to the guy. You know, they're kind of a big contractor, so they don't bother with, little guys like me. But he took me over to show me what they had. I mean, I was like salivating on the floor, just drooling. Like, can't I buy some of that, please? They can't. There's insurance things and contracts that they've already got in place, blah, blah, blah. And makes it difficult. But I gave him quite an education. First thing I showed him was he had all the CMOS batteries still on there. And I said, this will get to your refiner. And I said, it's going to get sent right back to you. because you've got these batteries on it. I said, you know, these could start a refinery fire. I said, so you really got to get those off. Then he had all of his P4 motherboards, green P4 motherboards, which by the way sell for a lot more than the plastic ones do. So when you're sorting your metal socket motherboards, you always have to separate those into what are called P4 green and metal socket colored motherboards. Reason being the colored ones have a lot more plastic in them. I said, you know, if you send it in like this, they're going to devalue your whole load. They're going to give you the price for the plastic. So, next thing you know, like 7 guys over there talking to me about e-scrap. And it was pretty funny. Me and all these guys. D and the boys! Alright. This is old school for sure, guys. I think the case is bent is why I'm having a problem. And it's going to slide, but it's got a bit of a dent in it in the side, so it's going to give me a hard time just because it can. There we go. Come on. Okay. I already brought all those Sun Oracle cases to the yard this morning. I've still got another bunch of bins. Well, this is a surprise. Somebody built this out as a gaming computer. It's got, speaking of plastic motherboards, it's got blue motherboard, plastic motherboard. Huh. Wow. That's interesting. The reason I say they built it out as a gaming computer is because of this. It's a gaming card. E-scrap is like a box of chocolates, y'all. You never know what you're going to get till you open the box. The one I opened yesterday, oh my god, unbelievable. So, Goldfinger card here, aluminum heatsink. I'll take a look to see if this is worth resale or not. I don't see a brand on it. PCI card, they have it as made in China. I don't see a brand. The brand is probably on the chip. We will put that aside for further consideration here. And this is going to be probably a Wi-Fi card. Yeah. Okay, just a typical wireless card. So these are Goldfinger cards. I'll take the bracket off. Take the time. Get the heatsink and the brackets off. So that way you can sell it as a clean board. You get a little bit more money for board sort. I've got a garbage can of these. That's going to go off later this week. Well, hello, Daniel Craig. Hello from England. Welcome. Yeah, it's really fine. I don't really like to go on at noon. I usually don't because I know Southern Scrapper is on at this time. But I haven't gotten on in a while, and I usually go on at like 8 o'clock a.m. and post early, but I couldn't today. I had to get out to the yard because it's going to rain. This is called Shielded RAM, and if you look at one of my videos the other day, I had 2 orders for 20 pounds of RAM, and of course I clean it for my clients, and I cashed in that this morning too. I cashed the aluminum in. Hey. This is aluminum. The clips are usually stainless steel, so you do have to separate those. But I cashed in 20 pounds of aluminum just from the shields on the Rams. And you can heat them if they give you a hard time, if they're hard to get off. But, there's really no need if it's going for scrap. It doesn't matter. Okay. And this thermal paste usually just comes right off. Try to get that off. Gonna make a liar out of me. You know what it is. There's nothing here. This is just really junky RAM. Whoops. It made a liar out of me. Alright, so I will have to heat that. I'll get that off and I'll attend to that. Boo! Usually it doesn't do that. I guess that's why you're supposed to heat it, huh? Yeah. That did it there too. You know, I did 100 and something of these the other day and not one of them did that. Boo! Surgery. Surgery was a failure. I have to go back and fix my surgery. That's annoying. I can't sell it like that because you know, the buyer's going to want their chips to go with their ring. So I'll use a little bit of heat. I'll get that off there and I'll just re-glue it back to the board. I'm not selling it for use. I'm selling it for scraps. So I'll fix that up. I will fix that right up. No problem. That is the first time that happened to me after all the ones I did. That's what I get for trying to take a shortcut, huh? Alright, so from now on we heat them. Thank you for the gifts. You all are so kind. So, did anybody do anything fun over the holiday weekend? Oh, good. This might be interesting. Okay. This is a non-SATA connector. See this ribbon cable? When you find non-SATA connectors like this, a lot of times you will find beautiful gold pins under it. This is interesting. There's two hard drives here, and they have one is SATA, one is non-SATA. This is a SATA connector. You don't have the ribbon wire, and let me get these out of here, and I'll show you. Hi, Randy. And again, guys, if I don't acknowledge you, please forgive me. And if you have a question, just leave it in the comments. I usually have to go back for them. Okay, should be able to push this little darling right through. This is interesting. He's got one of each in here. They must have taken an older computer, and they must have tried to update it a bit. This is interesting. They must have replaced the motherboard and upgraded one of the hard drives. This is a really old school hard drive, and I'll show you in a second. Hopefully. So this is the newer hard drive. This is SATA, SATA. It's got less gold pins. Still a good board. I do take apart hard drives. I don't usually resell them unless I know they've been wiped or I've wiped them myself or they're new in the box. I really wary about there's a screw over here. I'm going to have to get it. I'm really wary about people's information, you know. I just yeah, there's a screw on the other side of this, so I'll have to get this back cover off and then go in for the screw on the other side. No problem. We can go back to that. We already know what it is. But that's the good one. That's the one I want to show you guys. When you're scrapping hard drives, guys, it's important to know SATA versus non-SATA. Hello, Dawson. Thank you so much. Can you show me the price with the chip? Oh, the PC with Wi-Fi chip? The Wi-Fi chip. This thing? The Wi-Fi card? That's really old school. That's got audio jacks. Somebody asked if I would show this again. So again, this is where I really thought this was, well, I think the case is old, and I think they must have upgraded it a bit, because that's a sound card of some type. That is HDMI, so I think somebody upgraded an old computer, maybe just reused the case. I don't know. Curiouser and curiouser, they say, huh? The screw is right under here. Yeah, just enough to make things tough for me. Alright. We'll go back for those guys when I get the motherboard out. I'll flip the computer over and go in from the other side. Get the wire out of the way. I can't believe that RAM stuck on me like that. That didn't happen the entire video the other day. Ouch. I left it as I have a little mini heater next to me here. And put it on the heater. And I certainly can't sell it like this. It's actually cheap crap RAM, so we'll throw that in with something else. It can't go as RAM, it's no good. I can't sell that like that. Boo! Hiss! Power supply. When you do your power supplies, guys, there's usually 4 screws right on the back of the computer. Just unscrew the 4 screws, and you can just push the power supply right in. That is a good thing to get out of your way because it's in the way. Where do you get the PCs? These they were given to. Yeah, I agree. PCU cooler looks kind of modern. I agree. So I think somebody upgraded this because I mean this motherboard when I pull it out in a minute looks like an Asus motherboard to me. Of course, then again, asked a lot of people. I don't know my Asus from my elbow. In this particular case, somebody gave them to me. I have a lot of people who know I do this. I have 2 or 3 computer shops that I work with, and when they get stuff that's so old school nobody wants it, they sell it to me really cheap. I wish I could have gotten my mitts on that big Gaylord box full of boards this morning. Oh my god. Yeah, I agree. This looks like it might be a little bit newer. I don't know if I can test it or not. We'll see. You get a lot of wireage with these gaming computers. But I got to, to do that, I got to get this fan out. I don't know. It's a lot of extra work. I don't know if I want to do. So these red wires, these are SATA wires. SATA wires. So you don't have that ribbon. Ribbon wire, you get gold pins. SATA wires, you don't. Alright. Hey, Patrick, how was your holiday? You guys all know Patrick. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to sneak on and go live today, because it's going to rain, so I can't do anything else in the yard. I raked up 4 big long bags of just thatch out of the lawn yesterday. I cut the grass. I got bug treatment down. I wanted to put the grass seed down today. It was too windy yesterday. And it's going to rain. Which would probably be a good day to put the grass seed down. I'd look like a real nutter out there putting grass seed down in the rain, though. Good. Glad to hear. Hey, Patrick, you still working on that mountain of appliance scrap? Thank you, everybody who's come into the chat. I've seen crazier things. Crazier than me outside in the rain putting down grass seed. I think my neighbors are used to me doing crazy things. I have very nice neighbors. It was really nice yesterday. One of the things was it was so nice we were all outside and we hadn't seen each other most of the winter. And it was very nice. Made for a much more pleasant Easter for me. I don't know if you guys are able to see this. I think you can. So this blue board is more plastic. The green boards are more desirable for gold recovery. They have a lot of copper and stuff in them. I think I'm going to leave this like this. It says Intel desk board, and the reason I'm going to leave it like this is I'm going to see if I can resell it. He said it worked. So, only because he said it works, I may try and resell it. So, this one I'm going to leave just like so. And he said this worked too. If I can get this other set of wires out and pull the fan, I may try to resell it. You're always going to make more money reselling stuff than you are going to scrap it. Wow. Well, I was very proud of myself this weekend. I got, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that I lost my mom not too long ago, and I was blessed enough to be able to purchase her house. But any of you who've cleaned out an estate, especially if your parents were from the Depression era here in America where they saved everything, they weren't hoarders. It wasn't that. They had nothing growing up. When I tell you they had nothing, they had nothing. Not my mother nor my father. Both children of immigrants, and they grew up poor. They worked hard. But Mom and Dad saved everything. I mean, we had stuff down there for both grandparents. I had my father's stuff. He's been gone 25 years. She hadn't thrown any of his stuff away, and then all her stuff to go through. So I finally got that done. Okay, so hey Patrick, this is what I was talking about the other day when you were talking about your video on the CD-ROMs. This is a SATA connector, and SATA connectors go to ribbon wires. Usually the only time you got to worry about SATA and non-SATA is on hard drives. But in this case, these old school CD-ROMs, this is a great board and it's worth taking. You got a lot of gold recovery right here. So if it's on the end of a ribbon wire, it's a non-SATA connection, and you want to definitely go after that for gold recovery. This one I'll take apart. The newer ones, I don't even bother. I just sell them as media units. I mean, I've got a load ready to go to the other scrapyard tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I should sell my copper or not. Alright. I want to get this out, but I'm going to have to... Oh, come on. I don't want to have to take this other thing off just to get this one screwed up. Wrappings. I hate when I have to do this. Alright. Let's get her. So, as far as selling your boards, guys, SATA boards sell for a lot less, even though they're newer, because they don't have the gold recovery that the non-SATA boards do. Non-SATA boards are older. If you're not sure how to tell SATA from non-SATA, just take a look on the front. SATA boards say SATA on them. Alright. Definitely an old school case. I think that's what they did. I think somebody decided to upgrade their computer. Do I have my own PC? I have an all-in-one Mac, but we use Mac for the business because it used to be more secure. So all of our business stuff is all on Mac. So kind of stuck with Mac by default. My mother, God rest her soul, she was the one who got us all into computers. She went back to school in 1992 and learned how to do computers. This is a lot of work for one board, isn't it? But that's okay. I want to show you. I really do want to show you this board. Wow, got a lot of people in the house. 3.4K, not bad for this time of day. How nice of you all. I never thought I'd really get into this whole TikTok thing with doing live streams and this, that, and the others. But really, it's a lot of fun. And I gotta tell you, I've learned a lot from the people in the comments. Tremendous amount. And I do put my lives, I upload them to YouTube. Same channel, D-Scraps, E-Scraps. So if there was something of interest to you in the video, you can go back and find it on my YouTube channel and rewatch part of the video. I think this is the problem right here. I can't quite get at it. Well, doggone, guys, that was work, but this is why I went after it. I wanted to show you. These are the old school what you call them, hard drives. And where did I put that other board? So this is what I mean by non-SATA. Non-SATA has a ribbon wire connector. Of course, I buried it somewhere. Non-SATA has a ribbon wire like this, lots of gold. This particular CD-ROM has one like that too. All right. These are rich in chips, but they're rich in gold. This is not one of the better ones that I've seen. BoardSword pays premium price for those, by the way, right now. All right. That's all. I am going to have to get that fan motor out after because I want to include it with this. So, we'll put this up for sale. The case is beat to heck. But somebody must have been a real hobbyist to have done that. I'll probably sell that for like 15, 20 bucks tops. Not a lot. I'm going to just step outside real quick to grab the other computer. I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to leave this for a second so you guys can look at it, see if you can find out what it is, if anybody knows. I think it might be an old E machine. I don't see a name on it. Lightonit.com. I think that's the company. I don't think that's the machine. Compact disc. Nothing on the sides. Let me check the back. I had it outside because I actually washed it. I had to clean it before I brought it in. I don't see a brand on her. I almost think it looks like an old IBM E machine. Maybe we'll find out when we open her up, huh? Alright. Alright. Dr. E. Scrap B. We're going to surgery. Oh, it's an IBM computer, so it's probably an Intel. I don't think it's an iCore, but I decided I'm going to try to sell that board because they said it was working. So yeah, that one I actually decided to, I want to test it and see if it works. And if it works, I'll let you know. But, I have one of my teachers who's like, oh my God, I swear to God, this kid could probably build an airplane. And he took one of the extra teaching rooms. What we do is we have people come in, some of the older boards and stuff. They want to test them. Well, he's got a monitor and he's got a keyboard and he's got a bunch of stuff set up. I took the sound room down because we have a recording studio that opened up right across the street. When I moved the studio, the recording studio came in at the same time. So rather than trip over each other, we now support each other, which works out a lot better. I felt so bad though, they got completely ransacked. I felt so bad. Some jerk went in and stole every piece of equipment they had. And, but it works out well because they have, it works out well for me. I don't have to have that extra room. I don't have to have a whole recording program. I was able to sell a lot of the equipment. And that worked out well. They're happy. I'm happy. This is going to be another one this is going to be more of the same. I did pick up both of these computers together, so I'm guessing that this person must have tried to upgrade computers. Ooh. So we got a purple board here. Alright, let's get at it. I'm not going to make the mistake with the RAM I did before. Cheap garbage RAM. Corsair is usually pretty good. I'm surprised that tore like that. That's the first time I've ever had that happen. Okay, so four bits of RAM there, nothing much. This is what I'm oohing and ahhing over. That's what somebody did. They did the same thing here. They upgraded the insides of the computer. This is not the original board. The original board, yellow. The same thing though. I got another SATA, non-SATA hard drive board here. I'm happy about that. Those boards are paying $17 and change a pound at board store right now. Wow. Ooh la la. Look at that. That is loaded with gold flashing. I think that, I don't know how old this is. It's got a removable chip. I'll take that off. I'm going to also do a little research on this one too. I have tried this resale gaming board. I don't know, this looks like older gold flashing to me. Nanya, made in Singapore. Sometimes a Dallas switch has a date on it. This one does not. I'll have to Google Lens it later and see. Yeah, nothing in the way of a date. That look like a vintage card to me. What do you guys think? I don't want to take this off because I won't be able to put it back on. Okay, that's going to go into the pile. Well, the board is also from Elite Group, so I don't know. I'm presuming they're both from the same company then. I think that's a safe assumption. Do I have a chip puller? Yes, but I'm going to hold off on that. I have a feeling this may be newer. Unless they replace the heatsink, I don't know. I'm looking at this gold flashing. See, this is characteristic of older gold flashing, and that really looks like a lot of gold recovery. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That one's going to merit a little bit of research. Here's your old Wi-Fi telephone port. They used to call it, I guess Wi-Fi. You've got mail dial-up connection. Remember that? You got mail dial-up connections? Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. I think it looks vintage too. I mean, look at the difference here. Patrick just said it looked vintage to him as well. See, here's a modern one, and here's this one. So I'm wondering if they just upgraded and put a better heatsink on it. I really think this is an older board. Can you? I hope you can see that on camera. This we know is newer, and this just really looks older to me. I don't know. I'll be curious though. Gonna make myself a nice leftover ham and some scalloped potatoes. I also baked a bunch of potatoes. I'm going to make up some hash browns after. Put my feet up and call it a day. My point being, while I'm doing that, I think I'll explore about that a little more. I do think it's, you know why else I think it's old? Is because of this. You don't see these kind of switches on the newer boards, so I do think it's vintage. Yes, I agree, Necrotech. Thank you so much. Well, I'll be darned. There's a Dallas switch on this one too, on this board down here. This is a stumper, guys. I don't remember what the oldest colored board I ever saw. I think that the ones I remember seeing, and again, this is a non-SATA connector somewhere under here. I'm going to get some nice gold pins. This little fellow is a bit of confusion. I'm pretty sure there's going to be an AMD chip under here. The oldest color boards I remember seeing are this color, and they were made by AMD. And that's probably in the 90s somewhere. And then these plastic things, which are absolutely, I mean, they're not as high quality a board, in my opinion. I'll always say in my opinion. They're plastic. They just burn right out. And I see more gaming computers in the rubbish because the board is burned out. So this CD-ROM also has the same kind of a non-SATA connector. So these two boards I will take. I do resell these boards, and there'll also be a nice piece of brass in here. Like I said, a lot of times I don't bother. I just sell them as media drives. But yes, when I see a board like that and gold pins like that, you're mine. Hope you guys are enjoying the live. I'm certainly enjoying doing it. It's been a bit for me. I was awfully sick last week, and I was sneezing, and that's not very pleasant for anybody to have to listen to. I really felt awful. I just, you know, when you're doing live, you gotta have your A game on. If you look like an idiot, people are not going to want to watch your channel. If you sound like you're sick, you're miserable, nobody wants to watch that. So let me get this out of the way. 400 watts, that sounds like a lot of power. More power! Thank you everybody for the input about that board. It's still sitting there so you guys can see it. It is curious. I just put a I might have to get the motherboard off to get the power supply out. Okay. Who's holding you in? But yeah, I mean, I tend not to do a live when I don't feel well or I'm tired, or just half the fun of doing a live is interacting with people. And if you're tired and you don't feel good, you don't do that very well. And you really got to think on your feet, because the questions come in, very fast, and you never know what's going to be in the computer or whatever when you open it up. So, if you're not bringing your A game to the live, better to just sit it out for a week. Alright, I'm going to grab something to grab this with. I got to pull it, and I have no wish to cut myself again. There's a little piece of plastic on the base that was holding that up. All right, let's play Jeopardy. So this is what confused me. Maybe he upgraded the heatsink. He or she. Hey, Custom Computers, you're not on by any chance, are you? Custom Computers would know in a minute. They're here on TikTok as well, and they do custom builds. He would know in a minute. All right. It's so fun having company when I get stumped on something like this. I am going to take this one apart. I really want the chip. Pin CPU chips are selling really well right now. Hello JML, welcome aboard. These things are such a pain in the butt to get off. XP. That is an ugly motherboard. Definitely not the original one from this computer. I don't see any burn spots on it. That was what I was starting to say before. A lot of these gaming computers, they put these plastic boards in, and they burn. You know, boards that are this color, they have a lot more aluminum and copper, a lot better heat resistance. These things are mostly plastic, but you'll get a nice removable chip here, and there is good gold recovery here. There's good gold in the RAM and expansion ports. Not a heck of a lot in chips. There's a crystal oscillator, bit of copper. It's not great. This will probably be an AMD board. I don't know. Should I take the CPU off or not? I'm in the same boat, exactly, Necrotech. I can't place it either, but it's quite interesting. Hey, come back here. I just lost my life. Come back here. Interesting. You know, like I said, these just look like something that came from somebody who likes to try to upgrade computers. Alright, in this case, I think I want the chip. It's going to be an AMD pin chip in a plastic socket. I'm going to put that aside for the moment. I don't see any burn spots. I think I'm going to have my resident tech guru see if it works. If it works, I'll put a package together along with the other one. Why not? I have a music school, so we have, like I said, I have one room that we've dedicated to this too. So I'm now running two businesses out of the music school, which unfortunately, with all the loveliness going on, I've got to do something. Alright. Flip this over. So I think I'm going to find the same as the other. I'm going to have to get this back plate off. Go back in for these boards. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do about that board, guys. Once I take the CPU out, you know, once you pull the chip, you're running the risk that you could damage it. And you know, if I'm going to resell it, I don't want to damage it. This I'm not worried about damaging. I finished all the Sun microservers. I am so proud of myself, guys. Let me tell you, they are boxed. I have 5 boxes ready to go to board sort. I wound up scrapping them all out. There was no interest in them whatsoever, which is what I figured, because people just don't want the old technology, guys. They don't want it. So I was hoping some people would have wanted it maybe for some gold recovery, but it just didn't go. And, you know, I give it about 2 to 3 weeks. If it doesn't go, then it goes. And let me just reset this just a little bit so you guys have a better view. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to see if Custom Computer catches this later, and see what they have to say about this. They're really good at this stuff. That's why it wouldn't come off. Welcome, Glad. Alright. Yeah, I have to take this all apart if I want to get these other components out. This may be the last one I scrap. The other ones are all kind of current. We'll see. This is actually one of the few videos that I didn't really have a lot. Well, I shouldn't say that. I knew I had the 2 vintage computers to pull. I try to kind of run like a theme, you know, like I'll do either servers or Dell PCs or Microsoft Sun or Sun Oracles. You know. I had the time. I don't want to make another trip to the scrapyard. One was enough. And, I feel bad that I didn't get anything up last week, so miss talking to you guys. You're awesome. Most of the times these push through the front. Well, come on, don't make a fibber out of me now. Okay. This is, there's something old. Tell you, this I might actually try to sell because this was in pretty good condition. That's an old 3.5 floppy drive. That I may actually try to sell because it is in pretty good condition, and there are people who have vintage computers who would want something like that. There's no risk of any personal data. Hi, Skeeter. And thank you, by the way, all of you guys who are sending little gifts and presents, and I appreciate the conversation. It's nice to have somebody to chat with. Nobody's home during the day around here, but it's so quiet. So, SATA or non-SATA, high grade or low grade, old school, new school. Do 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 do. What do you think? Do 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 do. Older the golder. So this is an old school. These are going to be maximum value to board when I sell it to Board Sort. Maximum value gold recovery, non-SATA. It won't say non-SATA on it because when these were made, there wasn't anything as a SATA connector. There was no such thing as SATA. Same thing here. Look at all that gold in there. But again, I think I'm going to sell this. Now that I have somebody to test this stuff. And the same thing here. Because it's an older CD-ROM, I'm going to take that and I'm going to take the board. Let me do one of those for you, just since I'm here. Thank you, Joshua. I'm going to take this apart real quick. I'm going to take it apart anyway. Let me show you what's inside. Like I said, the newer ones that have the SATA connectors without the gold pins, I don't even bother. I just throw those in with media drives. I get 10 cents a pound with them. 10 cents a pound for it, and I'm done. It's just. A lot of times I found they also have stainless steel and not a nice piece of brass. So, that's all personal preference. I go after things I know I can resell and get good money. Board Sort pays very well for CD-ROM boards. Congratulations, Robert. You just got the number 3 gifter. Welcome to the Florida Redneck. Welcome aboard. I hope you guys will like and subscribe. I'm very close to hitting 1,000, which I think is pretty darn cool. Could have been doing this maybe a month and a half. I think I started in February. So I just put reservations in for Mother's Day to take my nephew and his mother-in-law out for Mother's Day brunch. And they're also having a craft show the same day, so that ought to be fun. That's going to be up at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. And then I'm going to stay over Sunday night. I plan on drinking, so I got a room. So I'm going to make a trip into my computer guy. I have 2 computer guys in Rhode Island, which is an hour and a half's drive from home. So I'm going to go pick up another load of servers, so I'll have some new content for you. Works out well. He gets rid of the old stuff, and I get stuff to keep my content fresh. So that's a pretty good board, eh? Thank you, Skeeter, for the like. I appreciate it. Thank you, Joshua. That's sweet. It's really, actually, it's my pleasure. You don't need to know my whole life story, guys, but all I can say is I'm very grateful that I have found TikTok and gotten into the whole thing with live, and really, I just enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking scrap, as opposed to hanging out with the peoples and talking something that sounds like it. No, it's very, I've learned a lot. I've been doing this for a while, and, but what I really enjoy is when I get questions from new people who are new to the whole scrapping thing. So again, this was the non-SATA older, And then you'll get a nice piece of brass out of here. When you push this stuff away, do it away from your face so you don't get it in the eyeballs, because that would really hurt. Thank you, Robert. And this is brass. I might turn my brass in tomorrow. I've got a bunch of busted trumpets and stuff on my workbench. I run a music band instrument rental service. I got a pile of stuff that I can't even get parts to fix anymore, so I think I may just scrap them. Alright. Okay. So that's what's in there. Put the cover back in. Some people will go after the motors. You know. It's not for me. I'll just throw that in the shred. I'll figure out why I can't get this other CD-ROM board out. We'll get that out and call it a day. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. I usually go live Sunday mornings early here in the States. I try to do my live before I go off to church in the morning. But I'm more of an early morning person, but I do upload them to my YouTube channel, D-Scraps, E-Scraps, so if you miss my live, or if you want to go back and review anything that we've talked about, it will be up on my YouTube channel. TikTok won't let you do it if you go over an hour, it cuts it out on you. Alright, thanks again everybody. It was good to see everybody, good to talk to everybody, and God bless and keep you all safe, especially in this Easter season, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again. Bye. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again. Bye.